What's wrong with BTS IQ rankings? Jungkook versus Taehyung. BTS IQ rankings often feel reasonable at first glance. One member appears smarter, another seems to fall behind. But that sense of order is exactly where the mistake begins. When we take a closer look at Jungkook and Taehyung, the ranking itself starts measuring the wrong thing. IQ was designed to assess academic logic in controlled environments. BTS does not operate in such environments. They perform under creative pressure, live audiences, cultural translation, and emotional intensity, conditions where intelligence appears through decisions, not test scores. Jungkook is frequently placed in the middle of unofficial IQ discussions. The reason is simple. He does not verbalize intelligence in academic terms. He rarely explains his thinking, but consistent documentation shows a different pattern, unusually fast learning. He absorbs choreography after minimal exposure. He teaches himself instruments without formal instruction. He adjusts complex performances under time pressure. This reflects a form of intelligence focused on execution rather than explanation. In cognitive psychology, this is often described as adaptive intelligence, the ability to adjust quickly to changing conditions. It is quiet, efficient, and often overlooked because it does not announce itself through words. Taehyung, by contrast, is often underestimated because his thinking is not linear. His interviews can feel abstract or emotional rather than analytical, yet this reveals a different cognitive strength rather than a lack of one. Taehyung demonstrates intuitive intelligence, the capacity to read situations, people, and emotional context without conscious step-by-step reasoning. On stage and in acting, he adjusts instinctively, often producing the most memorable moments. Intuition is frequently mistaken for randomness. In fact, it is rapid subconscious processing built from experience. It cannot always be explained, but it is rarely accidental, especially in creative fields. The contrast between Jungkook and Taehyung is not about who is more intelligent, it is about how intelligence becomes visible. One shows it through precision and reliability, the other through perception and emotional depth. IQ rankings assume intelligence has a single hierarchy. When that assumption is applied to two fundamentally different cognitive styles, one of them will always appear diminished, even when both are operating at a high level. In BTS documentaries, Jungkook often functions as a stabilizing force. He does not manage through authority or explanation, but through consistency. This is functional intelligence, the kind that prevents systems from failing. Taehyung often creates emotional turning points, a look, a pause, a subtle change in tone. In performance psychology, these moments shape audience memory far more than technical perfection. Using the same metric for Jungkook and Taehyung guarantees distortion. One optimizes for performance efficiency, the other optimizes for meaning. Both are necessary, and neither replaces the other. Traditional rankings reward intelligence that can be explained. Jungkook does not need explanation to perform accurately. Taehyung does not need structure to create impact. Their strengths exist outside standardized measurement. Modern psychology recognizes multiple forms of intelligence: cognitive, emotional, creative, social, and kinesthetic. Jungkook and Taehyung do not compete within the same category. They occupy different ones at similarly high levels. Comparisons often arise from a desire to rank, not to understand. Yet observation shows that their abilities complement each other: stability and depth, execution and intuition. Healthy systems require both. Notably, neither Jungkook nor Taehyung publicly defines himself as intelligent. This restraint is common among highly capable individuals who tend to distrust simplistic labels. When rankings are removed, a clearer picture emerges. Jungkook represents intelligence expressed through accurate action. Taehyung represents intelligence expressed through emotional insight. Neither is superior. Both are complete. The real issue is not which one is smarter. It is why observers insist on measuring them with the same tool. When the tool is flawed, the debate becomes endless, even when the subjects are exceptional. BTS IQ rankings are controversial not because of Jungkook or Taehyung, but because the framework cannot contain them. When intelligence is viewed correctly, no one is diminished. It simply becomes visible in two opposing, equally valid forms.